Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry.
Raise your hand if you have a question. We'll come to you. Who wants to kick off?
Mikel, it was the earliest goal in the Community Shield since 1968. What does that say about the alertness of your team to go in front so early?
Well, I'm obviously extremely happy with the performance, with the results, and winning the first trophy. We talked about the desire that we have to start the season and to show ourselves how much we want it. And I certainly saw a lot of positive things there against a top opponent.
Tom, Football London, over here.
Well, Mikel, we often get, I think, obsessed with massive mega money signings, but Christos Tzolis comes in at an amazing start. Just your thoughts on this game?
Well, what I said last week, that I think he's coming to the team and really organically, he's fit in, he's a really intelligent boy, and he has a massive quality, which is when he's in the last 20-30 meters, he's so composed to pick people in and around the box or to finish actions, and he's shown that again 2 or 3 times, and he was decisive.
Yes, Anne?
I'm a such a dominant performance from the very start of the game. How much of this is down to what happened last season in terms of you're now champions, you're now over that line for 20 years? Psychologically, does that have an impact and help you get back today?
I think it's down to the preparation that we've done in pre-season, to the decisions that the boys have taken after the World Cup, to continue to get prepared, to come early because they wanted to be part of this and they really wanted to win the competition, because it's something that we earned last year, the chance to play against City here, and very impressed in the manner that we play, especially in the manner that we competed. So that's the standard for us, and if we drive the standards at this level, I'm sure that we're going to be really, really competitive.
But surely that has some effects and some change that you're now champions, surely.
Probably there is more belief, you know how to do it, you know what it takes to win it, and the contribution of everybody, because last season that was the biggest asset of the team, that every single player contributed to make us champion, that we know that that's going to be exactly the same.
Alex, BBC.
Hi. Just on Christos Tzolis again, he said he's so ruthless in those last 30 metres. Can you coach that? Can you get even better?
Well, that's a natural quality. If he has better players around him, you put him in more and more situations. So the volume is higher with the level of quality that he has. The numbers will be higher. But he's so eager to learn, to improve, to practice, and it's not a coincidence. He's a really consistent player in everything that he does, and really impressed with him.
Sam, Daily Telegraph.
Hi. The midfield you've got now is incredible depth and versatility to it. Mikel Marino said it's probably the best midfield in the world the other day. Do you share that feeling? Is it now complete?
He's the best midfielder for us, that's for sure, and that's what we have to make it, that everybody complements with their qualities to the player next to them, and that we have this variability, that diversity with the qualities that we need in relation to the opponent, and today again you've seen it, we change it, and we bring other qualities in different moments of the game, and that's a really very strong thing to have.
Dom?
Mikel, can I talk to you about desire? Because talent is one thing, skills is one thing. There was a tackle from Bruno on Doku. There was a tackle from Gabriel on Doku, and there was then White denied Haaland, threw himself in front of it. Is that more of an indicator, or does that hearten you more, that the desire is in there to go again? Tell us about the desire.
There are really good examples. The way the team track backs is just unbelievable, especially when fitness-wise you are not there. So you have to get there in a different way. And when you put your soul and your heart into every action, that's what happens. I talk about desire with the composure and desire to have the ball that we have against a team that they are really good in the way they press. They are really good when they regain the ball, especially inside, in the way they do this transition. And to have that courage and that composure is only if you desire to do that in the manner that we've done it today. And I'm very pleased with that.
And it's that thing, just because you've achieved something, it's that willingness to go again.
Because you want to go through it again, you know. The desire comes, I want to live that moment again. I want to live other moments even bigger than them. And we know what it's going to take. We know the difficulty of the task. That's why we never done it in this football club, to win it again. So we know that it's going to demand something special, and we are ready for it.
Davide from Gazzetta dello Sport.
I want to ask you about Ricky Calafiori. Obviously, he scored the first goal in 25 seconds. Was there something
you want from him, like attacking more and more, being there, eating up chaos like it was last season?
Well, I think he can be a total player. I mean, we can ask him to occupy certain areas of the pitch, and when he gets in and around the box, he has this intuition, his timing to create goals, to score goals. But at the same time, we ask him, the defensive duties to do what he has to do. And we ask him because he's capable of doing. He knows how to do it, and he will maintain him fit and available. And with that physical condition, I mean, he's a top player.
What do you think he needs to improve compared to last season?
Again, more consistent in everything, in his habits, in his ability, in his robustness, in the decisive actions in the game. That's where we have to put the focus on him, because he is more than capable of doing it.
Okay, we did the last couple of Facebook times.
Mikel, just like Martin Odegaard, he missed quite a few games for you last season, struggled to get a bit of rhythm. How encouraging was it seeing him today kind of get back to that kind of level where he does control the game?
Well, he missed 5 or 6 months for different things, and it was extremely difficult for him to get any momentum. So I'm sure this year, if we can maintain him fit, available with the players around him, we're going to see a very different Martin. And I sense from the first day that he joined that he has something else on the belly that he wants to prove and show, because the team needs it as well.
And finally, James Athletic.
Hi Miguel, congratulations on a great
Thank
win.
you.
You had to leave some very good players out of the squad today. Gabriel, Martinelli, Ranieri, Gabriel, Jesus and more. Can I ask, are those technical decisions, or are they associated with the players?
No, just technical decisions. And I've been trying to persuade the Premier League and the clubs, to be able to extend the number of players that we can have, especially the outside players in the squads, because we play more and more games, and the load is unreal. And to not giving the chance to those players to be able here to participate, because maybe demands the qualities of one of those players and don't have them available, it's just a shame. So yeah, it's the most difficult part of the job, but there's nothing to do with that. It's just a fact that we can bring 18 outfield players, and we believe that for today's game, these were the options that we needed, especially with the physical condition of certain players.
And in terms of the market, a number of attacking players you had to leave out today, but only one defender on the bench. Does that show maybe where the focus will be, the emphasis will be in what's left of the window?
Well, we know that there are certain areas that through injuries we are weaker and we need to strengthen. We are trying to do that. We've been trying to do that for weeks. So only the right opportunity and the club is available to do, we will do it.
James, sorry to you the ESPN Glenn.
Just the last one about Declan Rice, who was came back today. He played 69 games last season for the club and country. I mean, can you do that again, or are you going to have to kind of manage him slightly differently when Sam's talking about the strength he got in midfield?
Well, he's done it previously. The last 2 or 3 seasons he's done something very similar to that. So he's already done it. Hopefully he's not need to do it that consistently, and focus more on the quality and the performance than the volume. But probably he will say the opposite, and he will say that he wants to play 70 this year if he can, because he wants to go for everything.
Okay, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anizal.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
You too. You're good.
See you. Take care.